really the first play was different than they'd done the first play in any one of the start of their games. They had done some safety pressures, but not on the first play. Usually been a little later. So he gave us that one. It was a little different. We were expecting a certain coverage. We didn't get it, but Tyrod was able to move along and move on. You script the first 15. Certainly you don't do a third down. We had to convert some third downs. The guys did a great job of moving the chains and staying on the field. Then we were able to bounce around a little bit. There's a couple I skipped over and I had to come back to a little bit later, just based on the down and distance and the field position and where we were. When we got inside the red zone, obviously you kick to another menu. So kind of expecting them to be relatively aggressive. I mean, it was a big game for them. And our guys were pretty keyed up and they knew what they wanted to do. It was awesome. And it's been that way quite a few times. I mean, we've done well on third downs and for his ability to move around has been part of it. So, we try to get him through his reads and his footwork, but if the ball breaks down and he feels pressure, he certainly has the ability to get out. That's the best half we've done as an offense, I think. That's what I credit to those guys. They really worked hard last week. It was a good group. Miami had played very well defensively the last two ball games against two good teams, two good offenses anyway. And I think our guys they worked hard at it. They studied. They knew what they wanted to get done and worked at the game plan, did a good job. Certainly you just go back and say, hey, show them this is what we did right. And then the second half, this is what we did wrong. I mean, we had our chances. We had our plays. We tried to execute. We just didn't get it done. We tried to push the ball down the field past the 6 and a couple of third downs. We didn't make the plays. So we, as a result, didn't do as well. Did good enough to win. Obviously, great work by the defense. We show them where their performance was great and where we stumbled and say try and get those fixed. It's great to learn while you're winning, and that's the learning process. They brought more pressure. I will give you that. I don't think. I think they're a good defense. They do a good job pressure-wise. They're good up front, obviously, and we'll see them again. But I think we had our moments, and we just didn't make the plays. The execution, various people. Throwing and catching. If we were running the ball, we missed a blocker here or there, and didn't ID it correctly. So can't say that anything got taken away. We just didn't do it right. I think week by week, we feel what's the best group offensively, working with Sean and obviously with Danny on special teams, which group we get up and which group we don't, and I think, it's just part of the game plan. That's what it was. We believe in Mike, and we'll see what happens this week based on what we're going to do when we go to New England.
What specifically about that game plan made Travaris the best choice?
If I tell you, then I think it just fit in that way. I can't really tell you specifics. We were trying to do a couple different things. Well, we're just now looking at that and see what carries over, what doesn't carry over, and certainly we're going to do all we can to move the football. There's a couple things that he didn't break downfield a couple of times, but I mean his big body helped him on some slants. He caught a basic yesterday. He was open because he's open. He's big, So we'll work with Sean, and he said he's progressing. He did more than he did the week before, and then we go from there. Trust all our wideouts. We'll have an 11 out there, so one of them will be open. I wouldn't say he's ever been a decoy. He's an X, and if the progression said start with X, go to the halfback, that's what we're doing. If it's Z, Y, then X, then that's what we're doing. So I don't think I've ever used him as a decoy.
Coach, on that note, running backs and tight ends account for 19 targets, receivers only 9. Would you like more balance in that area just to kind of keep the defense a little bit off balance, or is it really just about whoever the read goes to?
It's whoever the read goes to. I mean, we're trying to spread the ball. We had, we have 8, 9 guys touch the ball, passing. We had three rushers. So I thought the production from everybody was important. You got to try and spread the ball. Certainly we have guys that we think are good mismatches. 85 does a good job versus safeties, and you get 25 out in the open. He's a tough guy to cover, but we try to spread the ball as much as we can. Just whatever the coverage is, that's what we get. Like I said, the first play, we're expecting a certain coverage, we got a different. I think it's helping that the same guys are playing next to each other. You know, having coached the position, it's important. You know, as far as them being on the same page. You know, I think that helps quite a bit because they're kind of getting in a rhythm, like you said. But I think the offense as a whole is starting to feel, you know, this is what we can do, this is what we know we can do, and working with a tempo, a pace, a sense of urgency helps a lot. And I think in the first half, that's what we did. We did a good job of moving, getting in and out of the huddle, and playing fast. I think we slowed down just a little bit in the second half.